What is going on, NFC North Roundtable? It is your usual suspects back at it again with another preview here for Week 6. Well, I guess it's the four main guys. I mean, look, TD will be back. I'm sure everybody's going to be in the comment section. Hey, yo, this doesn't look like TD. What's going on? Well, if you guys go ahead and went and joined our live talk talking about Week 5 and breaking down everything that would happen, you would know that TD, just for this week only, is going to be out. He is dealing with some of the repercussions from the hurricane. Of course, if you are too, anybody in Florida, hopefully everybody is being safe. Everybody's taking the precautions and doing what you need in order to stay safe through these rough times. But we are going to be breaking down here Week 6 for each of these respective teams from the NFC North. But before we do that, want to give a massive shout out to the sponsors of this video and the channel all football season long at none other than BetUS. Right now, when you guys sign up for BetUS, it takes less than 60 seconds. You can use the mobile app or just go to the website and you use the promo code like you see on the screen, YouTube150. That is YouTube150. You can get an exclusive limited time offer of a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit, followed by a 125% sign-up bonus on your next two deposits, all the way up to $2,000. That is a deal you are not going to find anywhere else. Make sure you get in on it while you can. BetUS also has the fastest payouts in the industry. They have a 200% crypto deposit bonus, the fastest and easiest deposit and withdrawal process, 24/7 personalized service, 365 days a year, live wagering on all major games, best betting variety in the business. You can even get a 10% back on your net losses 2 times a year, and BetUS can give you your very own personalized account manager, doing things that no other sports book is doing on the damn platform. Just remember to be smart, be responsible, never bet more than you can afford to lose. If you or somebody you know or love is dealing with a gambling problem, please reach out and get the proper help that you need. In fact, if you go to BetUS's website, they have a page dedicated to getting that help for gambling problems. So play smart, play responsible, but shout out to BetUS and thank you for sponsoring today's video. But fellas, we got Week 6 to talk about. We are really quickly reaching the halfway mark of the NFL season, which is absolutely absurd. It feels like the season just started yesterday. We're going to get into each of these teams. Unfortunately, for you, One Bar, the Vikings don't have a game this week, right? They are going to be on a bye week. But real quick, just let me know, is there anything that you're looking forward to for your Vikings on this bye week? Anything that you're hoping to see when you guys do come out here in Week 7?
Nah, this is a perfect time. We got the Lions coming out of the bye. It's going to be a huge game. T.J. Hawkinson, all signs pointing to him being back for that game. We haven't had him all year, so that's going to be huge. Aaron Jones, hip injury. You know, if I had to bet on it, he's not going to play. We will see, but that's going to be a big talker as far as is he going to play, is he not? But just a ginormous game for the NFC North coming out of the bye. So,
yes, sir. Well, let's get into our first game that we do have here in Week 6. Dose, we're going to go on over to you because your Detroit Lions are coming out of the bye week, and you guys are going to be facing the Cowboys. That is a big opponent here for the NFC, but obviously the Cowboys not exactly playing their best football, not playing to the standards that we've seen in the past. What are your thoughts on this game and your predictions?
Yeah, I mean, the Lions players are going to feel like they owe them one after how last season ended. So that's awesome going back to that. I mean, the refs are going to get involved, so that is what it is. We got to play through that. But this game, to me, it's a couple things. First off, Dak has looked great so far this season from what I've seen. I really like watching him play this year. I think he looks better than he did last season. But as you pointed out, the talk is about their inability to stop the run, their inability to run the ball. I think they've gotten some good play out of the offense line. It kind of just depends on where their health is at coming into this game. Who are they missing? Guyton, is he out? Does Tyler Smith have to kick outside? They missed their left guard, but they get good interior push. I like a lot of things about this team. I think for the Lions defensively, it's going to be a great challenge leading up to Minnesota, where you're going to have some disguise looks. You're going to have to do things to force Dak to make a mistake, or at very least hold on to the ball just a little bit longer, just to get him off script a little bit. So that's what I'm looking forward to, but also Aiden Hutchinson moving around if they are banged up on the offense line, which it looks like they will be. I'm looking forward to him just having a massive game, and I think this is a game that he can take over for the Lions, and this could be one of his standout games this season, especially if he can play with a lead. So I think this is a great test for Aaron Glenn, and then offensively, we know we want to lean on the run game. I think we have the personnel to do that in this matchup, but it looks like Dallas getting healthy in the back end, so I want to see how that kind of plays out. If we're forced to pass it, when we are forced to pass it, how does guys like J-Mo, who kind of last season had the big play, it was like the big play against Dallas, and he kind of came to life in that game, how does a guy like that's been developing so much this year take advantage of a cornerback stepping now into his first game back? And Trayvon Diggs, who I think's looked a little bit shaky already this season. I think we can exploit a lot of things in their defense, so I expect us to be able to put up some points. I'm just really interested to see how Aaron Glenn plans to kind of try to slow down and just get this offense off script a little bit. Do you want to get my score prediction right now?
Yes, sir. Let's hear it.
All right. Well, I'm pretty confident going into this one. I'm going to say Lions 30, Dallas 20. I feel pretty good about this one. I think it could be close early and then second half, get a 2-score lead and hold on to it.
Damn, bro. I absolutely love that. Ride the hype train, baby. Ride the hype train.
Absolutely.
Boss, let's go down to you, buddy. What do you think about this Lions and Cowboys game?
I agree with Dose. I think the Lions match up very well against this Dallas Cowboys team, and I think it could be, like he said, get kind of close early, and then the Lions kind of take away from there. The Detroit passing defense has been very good this season so far. They've allowed 4 touchdowns, have 4 interceptions, and a quarterback rating of 84.5. A couple things I have to note from this game. I'm really interested to see CeeDee Lamb versus Carlton Davis. Carlton Davis has allowed a 110 quarterback rating, albeit some phantom flags as well. They put him up against DK and whatnot. So I'm interested to see that matchup. We know how good CeeDee Lamb is. And then getting after Dak Prescott, like Dion said, the offensive line could be banged up. And I also expect Aiden Hutchinson to go to work in this game. And I think they can get after Dak. Dallas doesn't really have a massive ground game to speak of. Rico Dowdle kind of played good against the Steelers, I would say. I just think overall the Lions match up well. And I think they're doing well with their identity and just running the football and making it even easier for Jared Goff, who just threw 18 passes in a row. I think it was actually 19 passes in a row if you go to the game before that. So how long will that continue? Are they going to try to continue that, or are they going to keep it easier? I don't really know. I'm interested to see how long that can go. But at the end of the day, Dallas's defense have the 9th worst versus the run. So I think Detroit can just keep it on the ground, make it easy, make the plays like they have been doing, and I think they win 31-24.
All right. I like it. Nick, let's go on over to you. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, I mean, like, big factor in this one is if Micah Parsons ends up playing. You know, like, he's obviously one of the best defenders in football. Right now, they haven't had him practicing all week, so that's a big break for the Detroit Lions. And it is in Dallas, which is a tough place to play. But Lions are starting to look like themselves. We talked about on the show the last couple of weeks, you know, even at the beginning of the season, we're like, this is not the best Lions football. Well, now we're starting to see that out of them. And I think that this Lions offense is ready to start cooking, man. I'm excited to see what they do, even though Dallas is coming off a big win in Pittsburgh. So they're riding a little bit of a hype train too. I think that the Detroit Lions they just have a better team overall. Their defense is healthy. Their defense looks good. They're going to be able to stop that run game, which Baz was kind of saying really isn't as existent as we thought. But their wide receiver room is going to be the biggest threat between Dak and, CeeDee Lamb. So we'll see what ends up happening there. Like, if Dallas can get going early, it's going to be a good game. But I feel like if Detroit just has that momentum that they've had continuously over the last couple of games, they're coming off a bye, they're healthy, they're feeling better. I think Detroit's going to win this one in Dallas. I think it's going to be a close one. I think it's going to be 31 Lions, 24 Dallas Cowboys.
Copycat.
Ooh, okay. And one bar. Why don't you go ahead, finish us off for this Lions game?
Nah, this is the game of the week that I'm watching. I can't wait for this one. I want a shootout. I want a ton of points. Dallas and Detroit, they always bring it. And Baz, you said, I mean, CeeDee Lamb against this secondary, I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do and what he will do against this Lions secondary. To me, this is a big test for the Lions. I know Dallas, everybody's kind of got mixed thoughts on Dallas, what they should be, who they are, whatever. But like, if the Lions can come out of this bye and just spank the Cowboys, I mean, the Lions are still legit. Everybody's fearing the Lions. But if they come and do that, it's like, all right, when we play them next week, it's like, I'm a little scared here. So we'll see what happens. Dak is 5-0 against the Lions in his career, I believe. But if they come out, Lions, if they run the ball, like, try not to get fancy. Jared Goff throws it 18 to 22 times, whatever it is. They should win this thing. The Lions are the better team, but it's just something weird about Dallas where I think they're going to be right there with them toe to toe. I do have the Lions winning. I haven't picked against the Lions yet, but I think they're going to be a lot of points, and I think it's going to be close. I got 34-31, and I think they're going to run the hell out of the ball and get a ton of yards on the ground. But CeeDee Lamb, I want to see what he does against his secondary, because that's just showing what Justin Jefferson could possibly do next week.
Ooh, all right. So it looks like it's going to be a good game this week for the NFC when it comes to the Lions and the Cowboys, potentially two teams that could face off in the postseason also. So definitely going to be a big game overall for seeding too. But Nick, let's go back on over to you. Your Bears play the Jags this week. The Jags obviously haven't been a very good team. They've been very, very underwhelming so far this season. Last week, they get their first win against the Colts, who also aren't a very good team. Your Bears are riding a bit of a high. Why don't you break this game down for me?
I can't say too much about the Jags win over the Colts like we did. We lost to the Colts earlier in the season, but the offense has obviously progressed the last couple of weeks. Bears are riding the hype train too right now. I mean, back-to-back games with over 100 yards rushing for the first time this year. On top of it too, our offensive line has only given up 3 sacks over the last 2 games, 1 sack last game. So they're starting to do what they need to do in order to get this thing going. Shane Waldron's opening up the playbook. Jacksonville, their defense has not looked as good as they were expected. Trevor Lawrence just can't get things going, and that's why they're 1-4. And the Bears, they're healthy. This is the healthiest we've been all season so far. We're not missing any of our key starters besides Jaquan Brisker, wishing him a speedy recovery. He got a concussion, so he didn't end up traveling to London. But this offense is starting to cook, and Jacksonville's secondary, not one of the best in football. So we have a chance in order to go out and have Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, Gerald Everett, you name it, spread out the ball. And our biggest threat right now is that DeAndre Swift is ripping it up out of the backfield and downfield. We're setting ourselves up in really good field position right now. Like I said, the offensive line's playing a lot better. They threw in Doug Kramer, our third-string center, to become a fullback, 6'3", 300 pounds, and he's just dominating right there. So Bears are just learning to move the chains. They're learning how to win. And I just got to say, week in and week out, the monsters of the Midway are back on defense, man. 21 or less points in 11 straight games allowed by this defense. Javon Dexter Sr. is red hot right now, going for 5 sacks in the last 6 games. And technically, this is a home game, so he's had 4 sacks in 4 home games in a row. Not only that, too, the Bears are the home team. They have an 8-game winning streak while they are the home team, which is the longest active in the NFL during the regular season. So I'm feeling good about this team in London. I'm excited about what Eberflus is putting together. He's starting to put together a winning culture, and Bears enter the bye after this one. So if the Bears can win this one, they enter the bye at 4-2. And that's the best record we've had through 6 games since 2018, the last time the Bears made the playoffs. So things are looking good from the Bears side of the ball right now.
All right. I like it. One bar. Let's go on up to you, brother. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. This is easy. The Bears should go over. They should cook. Imagine having the Panthers and Jaguars back to back. If that doesn't boost your confidence, nothing will. And they should do what they did to the Jaguars. Jaguars are pretty horrible. The Bears defense is going to be too much for the Jags. Their offense will probably be too much for the Jags. And this is a perfect case scenario. Like Caleb Williams, I fully expect him to have another good game. DeAndre Swift, another good game. And I said it in the live earlier this week. It's like they're just getting things rolling. They're figuring things out. So when they get to that thick of the schedule, like they're ready to go. Their confidence is as high as it can possibly be. So hats off. The Bears without this defense makes that offense so much better. Like the Bears are in a very, very good point where they can have some of these younger guys on offense do their thing. So I got the Bears like 24-13. Like they should handle business pretty easy.
Yeah, and like we've been saying, we even said this during our live show just, earlier for us, but a few days ago when the people see this, that sometimes you just need that confidence booster. Sometimes all you need is to get that mentality right, because everybody talks about football from a physicality standpoint. Sometimes it all comes down to that mentality. How is your team performing, not just on the field, but off the field, in practice, in the locker room? How is that motivation carrying the team? And right now, I think that's what Caleb Williams and really this Bears team need. It's a lot of young, new pieces. They need confidence. They need to start stringing things together and start believing in themselves and as a team, really, as a complete unit. But Dose, let's go on over to you. What do you think about this Bears and Jags game?
I got a concern, man. My concern is a lot of my picks end up contradicting my season predictions. But then, I feel good about this week. Like I have my notes and I'm like, this has to happen. But it never happens. It's the NFL. It's hard to predict this stuff. That being said, though, Nick, get out the notebook, man, because we just saw a head coach get fired after losing in London, and I know Doug Peterson is still on that hot seat. I'm taking the Jaguars in this one. Here's why. I think this is going to be low scoring. I think it's going to be ugly, and I think that this is one of those games where it's going to be very important, of course, that Trevor Lawrence get the ball out fast. This defense is going to be a problem. I don't see them putting up a lot of points. The flip side is, though, I really like Jacksonville's ability to slow down the run. I think that's been kind of like a under-the-radar part of this defense. I don't say like they're best in football, but I think it's been an under-the-radar part of this defense so far this season, and I think if that happens in this game and we don't see Swift rolling downhill and they're backed up in a couple situations, as bad as this secondary has looked, It takes one or two plays to kind of flip things. So I'm going to go low scoring, and I think Jaguars do just enough to get this win. I'm going to go 19-16. I'll take the Jaguars to win this one.
Oh, taking the Jags to win it. Okay,
notebook,
everybody
take
get
the
their
notebook.
receipts now. Get their receipts now, because let me tell you, if Dose is wrong, let me tell you, Nick's going to come back with some type of receipts video. Respectfully,
No,
understand
I
that.
always do. And Kobe, by the way, I didn't give my score prediction. I got the Bears winning this one 28-10.
28-10. Oh, so you're very confident in this win,
Smoke
too.
show.
Yeah.
This is a confidence booster for Chicago right here.
Oh, yeah, baby. Let's go.
All right, boss, let's go down to you, buddy. What do you think?
Yeah, so this is a home game for the Bears, technically, in London. If I would assume it's still kind of a home game for the Jags, though. I would take it. They're the most popular team over there, right? Because they played there the most, I believe. Here's the thing. If the Jags were wearing those throwbacks again, I would take them. I'd 100% take them. But they're not going to be, because the Bears are technically the home team. And I think the Bears also match up well against this Jags team. And I think they're going to do a similar thing to the Jags that they did with the Panthers. I don't think it's going to be as crazy. It's not going to be a 26-point victory. But here's the thing. The Jags just gave up, and I love them. Joe Flacco, shout out UD. Just gave up 350 yards to Joe Flacco, and they have the 32nd pass defense in the NFL. And the past 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago, I said, oh, that was Caleb Williams' best game. Last week, that was Caleb Williams' best game. I think our next Wednesday, I'm gonna be saying the same thing. I'll be like, oh, that was Caleb Williams' best game. So I think he's gonna keep building on what he has so far. And they only allowed him to get sacked once last week. So if they can continue that, they got to watch out for Trayvon Walker, who's coming off a 3-sack game. Dion said it good. Jacksonville is pretty good against the run. That's an underrated part of their defense. So I think that could give them some issues. But I think in the end, their passing game will be too hot right now with DJ Moore, Dunze, Keenan Allen, Cole Kmet for the Jags overall. Trevor Lawrence finally had a good game versus and then he's going to be playing against a good Bears defense who's only allowed a 68.2 rating, has allowed 2 touchdowns and had 6 interceptions. So I think he's going to return to what we're used to seeing this season from Trevor Lawrence. I have the Bears winning 24-20.
Bears winning 24-20. All right, Dose, I don't know. It seems like maybe you're the underdog here for the takes for the Bears this week.
Yeah, I was pretty terrible last week, so we won't go down that path. We'll see. It's new week, brand new week.
I would love to be wrong.
Any given week, baby, any given week. But look, that's going to wrap it up here for the Bears predictions here for week 6. Boswell, we got you here. I actually want to talk about this Packers and Cardinals game. Give me your analysis and give me your overall final predictions.
First, I'm glad this is in Green Bay. I've heard there's been some issues in Arizona with their turf, so I know a lot of people don't like playing in Green Bay, and they're like, oh, their grass is horrible or whatnot, but I disagree. So I'm glad it's in Green Bay. We're coming back home, and I think at the end of the day, this game's going to come down to the running attack on both sides. So obviously, the Arizona Cardinals like to run the football not only with James Conner, but also Kyler Murray, who last week's coming off a 7-carry, 83 running yard performance. Arizona is also 28th against the run. And something that the Packers, I feel like, have not done enough since Jordan Love has returned is just lean onto Josh Jacobs a little bit more. He did only average 3.8 yards per carry last week, but a lot of times he was hitting the backfield and created tough yards after that. They need to lean on Josh Jacobs early, go up early like they have last week and like they did in every other victory this year. Go up early and then continue to run the football against a poor run defense. Also containing Kyler Murray, like I said, 83 rushing yards. I think they have to have a plan for that. In the past, the Packers really struggled against rushing quarterbacks. Now, that was with old coordinators, and that was also in an old scheme. I think Jeff Hafley could set up a scheme where he sits Edgerrin Cooper out there, similar to what he did against Alabama last year against Jalen Milroe and quarterback spy. And he did a great job of that because Edgerrin Cooper, I think, is a very athletic linebacker. So if they could do that and set that up and also create pressure, the Packers are the number 1 pressure rate team while sending 5. That's been their problem. When they send 4, they can't create pressure. They got to send 5 more. Saying that, Kyler Murray is also great against pressure. He has the exact same quarterback rating, clean when pressured, 99, right at that mark. So it's not going to matter as much, more so just containing. It's also going to be Jair versus Marvin Harrison Jr., which I'm excited to see, and I'm hoping he shadows him because I'm ready for Jair to be back. Also, we could be getting Christian Watson back. Romeo Doubs should be coming back. He's back at practice after the whole fiasco last week. Christian Watson, his injury isn't as bad as it once thought, so we could have all our receivers back yet again, and we could finally start to see some more continuity build with Jordan Love and this wide receiver group. In terms of some other injuries, Will Hernandez is now placed on IR for the Arizona Cardinals, so I think Kenny Clark could have build off a good game last week against the Rams and have an even better game here against Arizona. And then I also thought Jordan Love can have a great game and start to build his continuity because Arizona is 30th in completion percentage allowed against opposing quarterbacks and a 110 rating to wide receivers. And Jaden Reed is one of the top wide receivers in terms of quarterback rating when targeted. So I think the Packers match up well. I think they're going to get a 10-point victory here, 27-17.
Ooh, all right. And what I will say, too, is that the Packers are overall favorited in this game. It looks like about 71% of people are picking the Packers to win this game. About 29% of people are only picking Arizona to win this game. So definitely feels like a game that the Packers should win. But Nick, we're going over to you. What are your thoughts on Packers and Cardinals?
Yeah, man. I mean, like the Cardinals have an exciting offense. I will say, like Marvin Harrison Jr. is super fun to watch. Kyler Murray, like I don't know. I don't know. They're unpredictable. Like they go out and crush the Rams, and then they kind of, I don't want to say anything rude on the show, but not trying to swear, but kid show. Overall, like the Cardinals, they're 2-3. Like they're figuring this thing out. Like I feel like they're like kind of going through a rebuild, but then they have like moments where they're showing they're a good team. But they're playing in Green Bay, and it's not super cold out yet, but it's fall in the Midwest, and that could be a factor. I don't know what the Green Bay weather is looking like this upcoming weekend, but Weatherman Baz can probably tell us what the weather in Green Bay is looking like. Do you know what it is or no?
I'm looking right now. Keep talking. I'll tell you.
So like the Cardinals obviously coming in, it's going to be a different atmosphere for them. They're 2-3. Marvin Harrison Jr., he could have a really big game, but also like I was talking about earlier this week, that Packers secondary is really shocking me how well they're playing. So they're going to be able to shut down this Arizona wide receiver core. If they're going to be able to win this game, it's going to be on the ground. Kind of like what Indianapolis did where they almost beat Green Bay in Green Bay. It's going to be on the ground, but obviously that didn't happen. Green Bay is one tough team to beat, but not to one bar. One bar knows how to win in Lambeau. I think that the Arizona Cardinals, though, don't have the firepower to take on the Green Bay Packers. I think that after last week, they got that win under their belt. They're feeling confident. They're feeling good. Jordan Love back at home. He's going to want to put on a good show, especially what happened last time. He's going to want to show the fans like, hey, like I didn't mean to, do what I did last time. I was just coming back. I'm back to myself. I'm going to have a big game. I got Green Bay winning this one, but it's going to be I think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think Arizona has a chance. I got this one 31-10 Green Bay.
Let's go.
31-10. Wow.
53 and chance of rain. So.
Oh, yeah. Big factor. I'm happy I said that score because that's going to be it now.
One bar. Let's go on up to you, buddy. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the Packers. This is fantastic for the Packers that's in Green Bay. I mean, these are still two teams that are just completely mysterious to me. Nick, you said it great. Like the Cardinals, like when they put it together, they're a very good team. They got some very good weapons on offense. And Baz, I don't know how many times you said Kyler Murray, but it had to have been at least 4 or 5. And to me, that's what it comes down to. If this dude's putting up 70, 90 yards on the ground, that's going to be a serious issue for them. They're going to have some great matchups with wide receivers in the Green Bay secondary. Xavier McKinney, I fully expect him to get another interception. He does it every damn week. But we'll see. I mean, the Packers offense, they should be able to move the ball on the ground. They should be able to move the ball in the air, which is usually a good recipe for success. So Cardinals, I think they could be a little bit sneaky. But I'm going to pick all 3 NFC North teams to win this week. But I got it close. I got 24-23 Green Bay.
All righty, another Green Bay selection. Dose, are you going to pick the favorite? Are you going to pick the underdog again? Give it to me.
You know what he's doing.
No, look. If it's 24-23, I'm gonna be very upset. It's just better if they're gonna beat them, just beat them. All right, let me know in the second quarter it's over. I don't want to watch 24-23 Packers sneak it out on a 62-yarder with a guy that's wearing 45 or something. Look, man, this.
I
don't remember.
You're getting me excited. You're getting me excited.
Bass said it, man, and this is why it's weird though, because he made a good point. Arizona's pass defense super shaky. They really can't get pressure. Their guys in the back end, you're like, who is that? But the issue with Arizona, I think they can do a pretty good job of actually just not giving up the big play. And that's where I feel like Green Bay has been dynamic, is they make the big play happen, but a lot of the other stuff I feel kind of hit and miss with. So this feels like a game where it's like, we have to be efficient. And if you are, as Nick said, I think you could run this team out of the building. Plus, this is the game to get that run game going. Like, lean on Josh Jacobs, get the receivers back involved in the run game, because to me, they don't have an answer for that. The only answer they really have on this roster is going to be sometimes Budda Baker flying around and making a play. Outside of that, they don't have an answer for a team that's just going to lean on the run game all game long. So I think there's a way that Arizona can win this game if Green Bay kind of plays into it. I think if they play into trying to take shots and they're trying to make the big play and they turn it over and they do something crazy like that, Arizona could find a way because, as one boy pointed out, they have the weapons across the board. They have the matchups across the board to have success. But I don't think that will be the case. I think Matt LaFleur's done a great job, and he's going to find a way to not allow that to be the case. So I'm more with Nick on this one. I think Green Bay is going to handle business. I'll take him by 2 scores in this one, 31-17.
31-17. All right, boss.
Yeah.
Looks like this is a game you guys gotta win at this point. But guys, look, that is going to end it for our Week 6 preview here for the NFC North Roundtable. Again, please make sure you guys follow us here on YouTube. Hit that bell notification once you do hit that subscribe button so that you get notified every single time we post, every single time we go live. And of course, make sure to subscribe to each of these individual creators' links in the description box below. We say it, I'm going to say it again. Keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer. You're going to want to go ahead and support these fellas. Of course, too, make sure you guys go ahead and check out BetUS. When you guys use that promo code in sign up of YouTube150, you'll get a 150% sign up bonus on your first deposit, followed by 125 on your next 2, all the way up to $2,000. We appreciate you guys so much for watching. Please leave a big like on your way out. Most importantly, though, stay safe, and we'll see you next week.